years older, 2 inches taller. Morrison has the weight advantage. Morrison's been a pro for 2 years. Vaulin 1, but as we've noted, both of them have had a lot of amateur experience. And let's call on our Nevada State judge, Cindy Barton. What are the rules for this fight, Cindy?
Well, Lynn, we're New Jersey State rules again for a 10-round fight. It's a 10-point must system. Referee does not score the fight. Standing 8 count is in effect. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. The bell cannot save the fighter in any round, including the 10th, and the doctor can stop the fight.
All right, so it's time for the introductions of the fighters. Let's go to our ring announcer, Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 10 rounds. It's in the heavyweight division, and the referee for this contest is Steve Smoger. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the red trunks and weighs an even 209 pounds. His professional record, 10 victories with 6 KOs, only 1 defeats. He's originally from the USSR, now fighting out of Yonkers in New York. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Yuri Vaulin. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with red, white, and blue trim, he weighs an even 223 pounds, undefeated with a record of 26-0, 22 KOs. From Kansas City, ladies and gentlemen, he's one of the top-ranked heavyweights in the world today, Tommy the Duke Morrison.
Hey, yo. He comes out. He comes out. You got an interpreter? Let him come out.
All right.
You want to come out? Come out. You were giving good. You were giving your instructions at the weigh-in. Obey my commands at all times. Obey the bell at all times. And protect yourself at all times. I'll touch him up, but we don't go touch him. Very good. Let's roll.
Joe, Vaulin's one of several Soviet fighters that was brought over by Lou Falsino. Is there a common thread that runs among them?
Well, actually, he's one of the few of the Soviet fighters that are still around. They sent a couple of them back. I think they kept one of them, and I wouldn't even dare to pronounce his name right now, but it's a lot harder than Vaulin.
And Vaulin bounced right into the ring. This has been set up as one of those Rocky IV versus Rocky V fights.
A few of the Soviet fighters had a hard time adapting to the American pro style. You know, they have so many fights over there. They get in a groove to fight one way, and it's almost impossible to break into that habit. And that's what Tommy Gallagher said he was having a problem with Vaulin.
Morrison just trying to check him out and see what he could do.
Well, Vaulin's moving the way that Tommy Gallagher didn't want him to move, and that's to his right. He wanted Vaulin to move to his left, to stay away from that big left hook of Morrison's.
And Morrison slipped down. Referee Steve Smoger. Opening round is scheduled for 10. Crowd reacts to Morrison's aggressiveness.
Vaulin took that shot real well. It hit him on top of the head, but it still landed very solidly and didn't seem to affect him in the least.
Morrison had told us you see him dipping down. He wants to work the body a bit, but hasn't done it yet. And Morrison doing some damage with both hands. Roundhouse right glances off the head of Vaulin.
Tommy Gallagher, Vaulin's trainer, told me he wants him nowhere near those ropes. He's got to stay in the center of that ring and use that jab. And as a matter of fact, he's got a beautiful jab. It comes out straight, comes out fast and hard. But he hasn't done much other than throw that jab. Vaulin hasn't. You hear Gallagher screaming for him to throw that left hand. He thinks that Morrison's open for it, and Vaulin isn't responding.
And the final seconds of this first round of the heavyweight fight. Tommy Morrison and Yuri Vaulin from Latvia.
Tommy Morrison show.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's have a hand. Please welcome in the ring at this time. This is
Well, you know, you can't really hear too much in the corner right now, but I got to assume that Morrison's corner is telling him to stop following him around and cut off that ring and hit the body more. It's something that he said he was going to do, and he hasn't. Of course, on the we're a little bit closer to Vaulin's corner.
And they are speaking English. Vaulin doesn't speak much of it, but understands a little bit.
Well, Tommy Gallagher, Vaulin's trainer, urging him to throw that left hand, but it was a nicely fought round for Vaulin.
Round two.
Well, the CompuBonus stat on the jab thrown in round one was 33% landed by Vaulin and 17% landed by Morrison. Of course, he only threw 12 jabs. There goes that left hand that they were asking for, and he's landing it.
Vaulin getting some punches in there.
As Morrison headhunting again, he should be hitting that body at every opportunity.
Morrison swinging and hitting air.
Well, this kid's an elusive target, this Vaulin, and his head, he leans back, he's tall, he should be hitting that body. It's the closest thing to him.
Morrison landing a right. Big roar through the crowd moments ago with the arrival of Muhammad Ali at ringside.
Another straight, hard left jab or right jab landed by Vaulin. Morrison's starting to look puffy already, and it's only been a round and a half.
They said they expected the fight to be difficult, that Vaulin was awkward. They wanted to get Morrison some rounds, but they had already looked ahead and tried to book Ray Mercer for August.
Well, they might have been putting the
left for Morrison.
Putting the cart ahead of the horse. From this point of view right now, Vaulin's not doing too badly. He's holding his own right now. A lot of people thought this fight was going to end real early.
Work out of it, work out of it. No, break, don't worry.
Keep moving, keep moving.
Little blood around the mouth of Morrison.
Well, he's taken several jabs right off the chin, and that opened him up rather early.
Hands up, hands up.
He's certainly in a dogfight here against the Russian fighter.
I'm here. Step.
Well, it looks like they've been working on Vaulin's killer instincts here. Tommy Gallagher said he had a hard time getting him to really open up on his opponent, and here he looks like he means business tonight. He doesn't want to just win. He wants to do some damage tonight. Look at that, putting a three-punch combination and getting out. This is what he got to do all night to win the fight.
Vaulin in good shape, dancing away. We wind down towards the end of the second round. Right hand from Morrison.
Well, you know, Bill Caton, Tommy Morrison's manager, told me they might have made a mistake taking this fight because of the awkwardness of this southpaw, and unfortunately, it's turning out to be true.
And there's a champion. There's a live picture from his dressing area. His trainer, Lou Duva, right behind them. The man who has somewhat been overlooked in the promotion, even though he is the undisputed world heavyweight champion. George Foreman has garnered all of the attention and a good deal of the support. And of course, coming up, we will have what's being billed as the Battle of the Ages. 42-year-old George Foreman, 28-year-old Evander Holyfield. But first, there's the business of Tommy Morrison and Yuri Vaulin. Round 3, it's scheduled for 10.
Well, the jab seems to be the deciding factor in this fight so far. Vaulin landing 32% to Morrison's 9%. He's only thrown 22. He's been throwing wild and trying to headhunt, and it's not serving him very well in this fight.
And the longer Morrison goes, he treads into unfamiliar waters because most of his fights have ended in the first couple of rounds, Joe.
Especially his last few fights. He fought Pigland Thomas, knocked him out in one.
Quick Tillis.
James Quick Tillis. What has he had? About 20 knockouts in his last 22 fights, I believe. And
all early. All in the first couple of rounds.
Well, Tommy Gallagher telling Vaulin to move, and the one time he didn't, he got caught with a left hook to the head. And that's what he's got to do, use that mobility and get out of the way of these big bombs.
You mentioned something that nobody knew, Joe, that Morrison has an injured right hand. Do you think that's telling a tale?
Well, you know, he did. He had a severely injured knuckle, and in confidence he showed it to me, and I didn't say anything before the fight, but now that it's going on, it won't make a bit of difference. But he really hasn't been throwing it that much, and I've seen him knock out quite a few guys with that right hand, but right now he's limited. He hasn't been throwing it very much at all. It may be bothering him. You see, he didn't follow up with that left hook. He should have thrown that right uppercut right into the midsection after that. In fact, he doubled over in pain and fell to the canvas during sparring when he hit his sparring partner, Jerry Jones. Oh!
And Vaulin landing. He staggered Morrison. Morrison has never been down in his career, and he wobbled there.
He's got to stick to his game plan here, Vaulin. He shouldn't get overly confident because Tommy is still strong, even though he wobbled him.
But this is the point where Tommy Gallagher said Vaulin needed to go after him now. Don't let him off the hook. Don't let him back in the fight.
He's in, but he's holding on. He should stay to the outside. He's landing from the outside. Why quit there?
He lands again with a left. Vaulin putting on a show in the 3rd round.
Putting on a show and catapulting himself to the top of the heavyweight division. If he takes out Morrison, he's rated in the top 10 in all 3 categories here.
And Morrison landed a left, but after paying the price.
Morrison cannot just be content to throw those punches and stop. He's got to throw those punches and step to the side, get out of harm's way there. Don't be in line for a counter shot from Morrison.
No punch, no punch, no punch.
A strong round for the underdog, Yuri Vaulin, who's taken over control of this fight through 3.
Here on the replay, you see Vaulin landing that jab, bingo, right on the button with that left hand, and then followed up with that right hook to the temple. And that'll do a lot of damage in itself. Here again, another angle of that. And left hook right on the chin, followed by a left and another left. A beautiful 3-punch combination set up by the jab. It's the overhead shot. Steps in, right cross, left hand, right cross. It's amazing that Tommy Morrison really stood up to those 3 shots. That would have put any normal man down. Look at this. Turned his head completely around. Almost look at the same combination that Buster Douglas hit Mike Tyson with to put him out and down. He won't be able to take many more of these combinations if he doesn't do something to turn this tide in this fight.
Big 3rd round for Yuri Vaulin. Let's see how Morrison can respond here in the 4th. lunged with a right from long distance that the crowd reacted to.
Well, it hit Vaulin right on the chin, and well, he came right back with his own 2 punches, but it looked like it stunned him for a second.
Me, right? Come on.
You know, Vaulin told us yesterday that he depends on this right jab. That really is his bread and butter punch.
Come on, Yuri. Come on, Yuri.
Let it go! Get it up, put down
I'm here. Okay,
Come on, baby!
A left caught Vaulin going backwards.
no punch.
Vaulin has taken Tommy Morrison out of his game plan here. When Vaulin does get on the inside, he's allowing, when Morrison gets on the inside, he's allowing Vaulin to tie him up on the inside. He should forget about trying to push him off. He should be banging him to the body, trying to wear him down and slow him down. He isn't getting many opportunities to hit him. Should take advantage of it on the inside. Another 1-2 landed right on top of the head by Vaulin.
Punch out of there, Tom.
Referee Steve Smoger telling Tommy Morrison to punch his way out of there, out of the clinches. Morrison had said something to Smoger.
I'll let you work out of it. Go ahead.
That's the voice you hear.
Don't punch. Tommy, don't punch, Tommy.
And a left hand from Vaulin.
Your hands are loose. That's it.
Morrison finally going to the body. If he were doing that more consistently, it would definitely be taking the legs away from Vaulin.
That had been the game plan. They wanted Morrison to come in low, to be explosive.
Don't punch. All right, good. Don't punch.
Vaulin's corner is urging him to jab.
Come on. Yuri, stop holding. Yuri. Come on.
One at a time.
Don't punch.
The pace has slowed down a lot here in this round, but they certainly expended a lot of energy in these first 4 rounds for heavyweights.
A lot more clutching and grabbing here in the 4th.
Oh, dynamite.
Vaulin with another fine combination.
I'll tell you what, Tommy Morrison is really unsteady on his feet. His ankles are turning. His legs look weak underneath him right now, Len.
Another pretty good round for Yuri Vaulin. So maybe his people were right all along when they said, don't take us lightly. Don't look ahead to your next fight. Take a look at us. And let's check in with Cindy Barton to see how she has scored it through 4 rounds. Cindy?
Well, Len, I have Vaulin winning 39-37. He's applying the pressure. He's controlling the fight. And I think it's pretty clear cut at this point.
Are you very surprised by this, Joe?
Well, you had to favor Morrison going into this fight, but Tommy Gallagher told us that Vaulin was going to surprise everybody. He was confident, as you could be, that Vaulin was in this fight. People were kind of writing him off going into this, but you look across the ring, you see Morrison. He looks like he was the underdog in this fight because he is getting banged up looking.
You know, the rap on the Soviet fighters is they're more headhunters than tacticians, but Yuri Vaulin certainly being very tactical tonight.
He certainly is. Tommy Gallagher in the corner told him to jab, move. He knows the other punches will follow. He just doesn't want him standing still until Tommy Morrison is almost out or completely tired, because he's still dangerous.
Get off his neck, Yuri. No. Come on.
And now Morrison on the attack. Morrison missing wildly on that one, but for the first time, he stunned Vaulin.
Well, just like I said, he was still dangerous, and he's got him rocked. Let me tell you, and Gallagher was worried about that. Dynamite uppercut.
And the crowd clearly on Morrison's side, as you can tell, as he's come alive here in round number 5.
Well, this is something uncharacteristic of Vaulin, and that's slugging it out with a guy like Tommy Morrison. We haven't seen this in his previous fights.
Work out of it. You're loose.
It was Vaulin's fight through the first 4, and Morrison stepping tied with a big left hand.
I'm here. Step.
And Vaulin's hurt.
Body shot. That's it. They may stop the fight here.
3, 4,
Doesn't look like he can continue. He looks like that shot took
6,
everything out of him.
7, 8. Okay.
Gallagher telling him not to quit, and he doesn't. But he sure looked on the verge of it.
Break. Step.
Oh,
And Vaulin hurt again.
Turned his back. That's got to be it. A fighter turns his back. I can't believe that Smoger is actually letting him get away with this.
4.
That's it.
That's it. Tommy Morrison, who was in trouble and rocked in the 4th round but did not go down, ends it in the 5th.
Well, he finally decided his corner had to have told him to go back downstairs or finally go downstairs because he didn't do it in the first 4 rounds. And that's what turned the tide for him.
206 of the 5th. 206.
At 2:06 of the 5th round, that'll be the official time. And Tommy Morrison goes to 27-0.
206 of the 5th.
After Vaulin had really hurt Morrison in the 4th.
Stop the bullshit.
All right, this is round number 5 now as we take a look at the replay. Left to the head. Morrison jumping, strong, solid left. What a rocket. That's where he first got Vaulin in trouble. And it was the body shots which made him take the first count. And the second count was also from the body shot, and then the fight was stopped as well, but this is what started it. And this is the second time around. You see Vaulin immediately react and turn around. He had done it once early in the round, and here the second time. And referee Steve Smoger goes over, starts the count, and eventually stopped it. Vaulin low. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted him to be low, explosive, work the body, and that's exactly what he did to take out Yuri Vaulin in the 5th round. Quite a performance by Tommy Morrison. So now he can look ahead perhaps to Ray Mercer in a battle of undefeated young heavyweights in August. Let's go to the official decision. Michael Buffer up in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Smoger stops this contest at 2 minutes and 6 seconds of the 5th round. The winner by TKO victory, his record now 27-0 with 23 KOs from Kansas City, Tommy the Duke Morrison. Let's have a round of applause for a very, very game Yuri Vaulin from Yonkers, New York, by way of the Soviet Union. Let's give him a hand.
All right, the final CompuBox statistics, the number of punches thrown, Vaulin way more than Tommy Morrison. Morrison's percentage just a little bit better, but you saw the big left hand to the head that started the problems for Vaulin, and then it was the succession of body shots that led to the stoppage at 2:06 of the 5th round. And Joe Goosens in the ring right now with Tommy Morrison. Joe, take it away.
Thank you, Len. Listen, I got Tommy. Tommy, your worst nightmare almost came true tonight. Those southpaws, you told me you don't like them, you have trouble with them, and it took you a few rounds before you got on track.
That's true. I don't think I'm the only one that doesn't like them. I mean, everybody had, southpaws have a reputation of being very awkward and unorthodox, and it proved to be true tonight. Fortunately, I think conditioning played a major factor, and we're able to you go to the body, which is something I should have done a hell of a lot sooner. But things don't always happen the way they should. But fortunately, my trainer and the conditioner was able to come out on top.
Was it your corner man who told you to finally go to the body, or was it a decision you made on your own?
Well, going to the body is something that I normally do, just about every time I go to the head almost.
The first 30 seconds of the first round, usually.
And that's why we've been successful in the past with the body shots. But I'd like to say hello to everybody back in Kansas City and Oklahoma. I'd like to wish my dentist, Bill Bush, happy birthday.
Listen, Tom, let me ask you something. We know that before the fight you told me, I saw that right knuckle was hurt badly. How did it affect you tonight? Did it have any play in you not throwing it as much?
There was a little bit of pain there, but as we all know, anybody that's very knowledgeable about the sport of boxing, when you have the adrenaline, it certainly does a lot for you. So we're fortunate enough to throw it. The left hook is basically what did it for us. Unfortunately, it didn't happen a lot sooner. Well, I feel that we learned a lot from this fight.
Exactly. Bill, listen, your worst nightmare almost came true. Like you told me, you were worried about this fight.
I was worried about that because of the southpaw problem. Ordinarily, the first punch that is usually thrown by Tommy is a left hook to the body. And here it took him 5 rounds to throw his first real effective left hook.
Were you surprised by Vaulin?
Right back there.
Were you surprised by maybe the couple left hands that he landed on you? Shook you a little bit?
I was very surprised at his speed. I know they had very fast hands, but it seemed like it was even multiplied once we were in here. Very accurate, and he knew his range very well, as most southpaws do. I think because of that southpaw position, kind of obviously it throws everything off, and not able to do what you normally can against an orthodox fighter. But, God was with us. We came out on top.
Well, you look great tonight when you finished up strong. Bill, let me ask you something. What about the future for Tom? What's he got going on?
Well, we're going to probably fight Mercer in August. That's our plan at this time.
And if you get by Mercer, what's next?
We'll see what the future bears.
Exactly. Well, I think he's got a great future for Tommy Morrison here. Great fight, Tommy. Congratulations.
I'd like to thank Top Ring and Main Events for having us here.
All right, and thank you very much. And back to Len Berman ringside.
All right, thank you, Joe. Let's take them one fight at a time. And Mercer in August is the next probability in a battle of young undefeated heavyweights. And a bit of life imitating art. Tommy Morrison in that street brawl in Rocky V and got into quite a brawl here, getting rocked in the 4th round and winning it in the 5th. Let's go back up into the ring now to Joe Goosen.
Thank you, Len. I've got Yuri Vaulin here with me. Yuri, you almost had that fight in the bag. You had him hurt several times. Unfortunately, you couldn't finish him off. What happened?
I received a strong punch in my stomach. I'm so sorry. This was my fight.
Well, let me ask you something. When you were in training and you prepared for this fight, I'm sure you had sparring partners that hit you in the stomach. Was it a case that he just hit a lot harder than anybody else you've ever fought before?
On one training, I received punch in my stomach. I just no control. If I work with my stomach, I can receive today 2 punch more. Usually, I control his hands because he have good hook. I control all times these hands in my chin.
Right.
Mistake.
Let me ask you something, Yuri. You had him hurt a couple times in the early rounds. Did you have a problem did you try to finish him off, or was it a fact that he just survived your attack?
When I find his chin, I'm very hurry up. It little bit think if fight his free place.
So you tried to take him out, you just couldn't do it.
I'm hurry up finish this fight. This is my mistake.
All right, Yuri. And how about the future? Are you going to continue? Do you foresee yourself continuing the heavyweight division?
I must teach this mistake. Teach me now. No more this mistake.
Right, in other words, you've got to work on the fact that if you get hit in the body anymore, you've got to be able to absorb that punishment.
Yeah, my trainer Tommy usually say me, Yuri, work million push-ups on your body. I don't listen to him, so sorry.
He listened. We had the best sparring possible. We had Seamus McDonough and Derek Eisman, who punched just as hard as Morrison, punching him to the body for 3 weeks up in Kutches. And this guy has the fight. We're right there. We're a whisker away, and he got hit in the body.
It's a shame. It certainly is a shame. And back to you, Len, ringside.